Yes, it was a pretty gorgeous morning, but there was already a little bit of smoke in the sky. It wasn't really affecting much. In fact, it was probably making the light a little bit warmer than it would have been at this time of day. For the moment at least, it was making this September day feel a lot more like summer than the approaching fall. But fall is pretty much here. You can tell by all the combines roaring through the fields, if nothing else. And those combines were kicking up a lot of dust. And the combination of that and the smoke was, well, it was obscuring things a little bit, but not too badly. And I do love watching the combines work. But in addition to the combines, I was looking for a bit of fall color. So I headed down to the Red Deer River Valley at Tolman Bridge and found, well, not a whole lot. The leaves are turning kind of slowly this year. The cottonwoods are still pretty green. But there's another spot on the Red Deer River not too much further upstream. It's called Dry Island Buffalo Jump. It's a pretty spectacular place. And if you hit the timing right, the fall color is gorgeous here. The thing is, I didn't quite get the timing right. It was still gorgeous, but it's got a little ways to go. The aspens and the poplars haven't changed all that much, but a lot of the shrubs have started to turn, so I headed down into the river valley to see what I could find there. I found Saskatoon leaves starting to turn. I love when they're in that transition stage. The osier dogwoods have mostly turned red. Saskatoon berries, they're pretty much done for the season. Chokecherries are still there, though they're getting a little dry and wrinkly. And I found a little chipmunk. They're common here, but you don't see them all that often. I poked around down in the valley bottom for a bit and then headed back up the hill. It's kind of interesting when you look at things from a different angle. The angle of the light really did something for the color on the way back up. It really looked better than it did on the way down. The smoke and dust had really obscured things while I was down in the river valley, probably because the combines were working a lot harder now. It had heated up to around 28 degrees by 3 in the afternoon, and that got rid of most of the moisture in the crops. That allowed the combines to really get to work, and they were kicking up a dust storm. In fact, it made it hard to see them in a lot of spots. I found these ones working in a valley south of Three Hills, and I was able to look down underneath the smoke and dust. Man, these modern machines sure do work fast. They chewed right through that field while I was watching. The sun was getting low now, as it does at this time of year. I mean, the equinox is almost upon us. But just before the sun hit the horizon, I found this big flock of starlings and brewer's blackbirds and grackles. They were grabbing bugs out of the air. These guys are getting ready to head south pretty soon. Bet those bugs made a pretty good snack. The birds kept hunting and the combines kept rolling as the sun hit the horizon. A beautiful way to end the day, out in the dust and smoke.